Okay, I've taken my ruler, nice little T-square, I love this, and I've made a grid on the Bristol board and started with 1 on the bottom, which is the black, and 10 on the top, which is white. We have all the scales in between. Now, I made it a little bit wide because when we're finished, then we're going to just make a little oval cutout here in the middle that goes around all of the values, like this one, so that you can put this down on something and see it through there, and then will help you to find the values. So if you can notice, I have put I need to find a bigger brush. I have put out my colors that I'm going to use: the carbon black, dark gray, medium gray, light gray, and white. And I put it in the order that I'm going to use them, so right there is a value scale that you can see. So I'm going to wet my brush, and the first one I'm going to do is the white. See, I'm going to put in my known shades, my known values, the ones I don't have to mix. So I'm going to put it right straight across here. Now, this doesn't have to be real neat or anything, just however you feel like doing it. If you want to take some time on it, or if you just want to slap it on there, it doesn't really matter. Probably should get your pencil marks covered up. And then I also added another inch, so mine's actually 6 inches wide, so that I could write the number of the value on there. Okay? So, rinse the brush. And I'll drop to my next step, which is the dark gray value 3. I'm sorry, I went backwards. I loaded my brush from the wrong end, but since I've got it on my brush, let's go ahead and put it on here. So here's the value 3. Hate to waste paint. I think that since that was sitting right in front of me, closest, that's what I went for first. So anyway, okay, we've got our value 3 dark gray on there. Earlier than I had planned, but we're flexible, we'll just roll with it. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here to my light gray, keep getting my elbow in the white, my light gray value 8. So I'm going to put it right here. And we have skipped a value 9. So what we're going to have to do is mix a little bit of gray into the white until we get a value halfway between these. Now, the reason we don't do it half and half is because it's very, very hard to make something lighter once you've got it dark. So we just add a little bit at a time until we get to the shade that we want it to be. We start with light and we add dark. We never start with dark and add light, because you'll end up with a 2-ounce bottle full of paint that you didn't need because you were trying to make it lighter, and then you waste a lot of paint. So, okay, we've got that. Now let's go to our medium value gray, which is the 6. We'll put that on here. Okay. Now, and let's go and put our black on at the bottom for our value 1. Now, in this lesson, it's also asking you to make a value scale with a red and a blue. I would encourage you to do that on just as good a board or just as nice a surface as you do your gray one, because something that I have always wanted that I thought would really help me is if I had a scale, a value scale of each of the pure pigments that Jansen's produces. Haven't taken the time to do that yet, but I think that would be an invaluable tool for me and for anybody, really. It just helps, when you're using those colors, to have that scale, because it's just easier to see it when you're looking at the same hue. Okay, so got that on there. So let's go from the 6, value 6, let's start in the middle. I'm going to turn this upside down again. And let's mix to get a value 7. So we're going to mix our medium gray 6, and we're going to mix our light gray 8 with it. So I'm going to put my light over here. Let me just make sure that you can see it. And then I'm going to slowly add the gray to it. Just, you know, this one will probably be an equal, but just because of that, it's harder to do light after you've gone dark rule, then I just add a little bit at a time. So let's see if we've got it. Let's just put it right in here. Looks pretty good to me, but I think it could be a little bit darker. Now, your value scale is going to look different than somebody else's value scale because everybody perceives color just a little differently. So there's no really wrong way to do it as long as you follow the mixing guidelines. Okay, so we've got our value 7 right there. And now I'm going to wash off my brush again. And let's go to our titanium white and our medium gray. So let's start with the white. I've got a pile here, so put a little bit of that medium gray, or I'm sorry, the light gray in with it. A little bit more. Just darken it down a tiny little bit. See if we've got our value 9. Yes, we do. So paint that right in there. Okay, there we go. Now, let's come back, let's jump back down here at the bottom again. Let's take our carbon black and add a little of our dark gray 3 to it. The black, put the pad right here. Add a little bit of this gray to make it a little bit lighter. Still a very dark value, but just a little lighter than black. Let's put it in here and see if we've got it. Yes, we do. We have a value that's in between those two. Okay, now here comes the fun part for you guys. Let me get this on here. All these other mixes we've made have just one value step between them. This right here, value 4 and 5, have 2 value steps. So I want you to take your value 3 and your value 6, adding and subtracting. Adding light and dark, starting either from this way, or as we have said, it's easier to start with the light and then add dark, and mix 2 values that fit in between this one and still step down. Good luck and have fun.